What's up, Captivate fans? Josh here from MobileTechVideos.com with another highly anticipated exclusive tutorial for Continuum 5 Genuine Gingerbread 2.3.3, and we're going to show you how to get this on your Captivate. So here's a running Captivate with 2.3.3. The latest version of Continuum is Beta 3, so we'll be showing you how to do that. This will apply for any of the current Continuum 5 as well as many of the up and coming ones, because obviously this is in development and it's progressively getting bigger and bigger, and more stuff's coming out. So without a doubt, let's go ahead and get involved and see what it takes to get this thing on the phone. Alrighty, obviously to start with, we need to go back to JF6 stock. I recommend using Odin one-click downloader. That's the only way I'll support this. So go ahead and put the phone into download mode, get your Odin one-click up, and get ready to start this. If you've never used Odin one-click, see my video here to learn more about that. And that is the method that we will be using today. So we'll get plugged in, and we'll begin to flash back to stock. So we'll speed this up and catch up with you guys in just a moment. Okay, so our phone is in the process of booting back up. We'll set it to the side for right now, and let's go ahead and open up our XDA developers thread for the Continuum 5 Gingerbread thread from obviously from ISAR, the man behind all the Continuum ROMs, and he does a fantastic job in development, and we always appreciate him. So shout out to you, my friend, in the, I believe, Czech Republic is where you're from. So shout out to you. I really appreciate the work. I think it's awesome that you've gotten this up and running. Obviously, you found an Odin package that worked correctly and you were able to optimize it for the Captivate, so that works. That's awesome. So anyways, we'll open up the thread. I recommend you read every single word in this thread. There's tons and tons of great, useful information that will open your eyes as a user and teach you so much more about common things that you may not be aware of. This Odin package that we're going to flash does contain bootloaders, new bootloaders, not Captivate bootloaders, that happen to work on the Captivate. Now, when you flash bootloaders, there is a severe chance of hard bricking the phone, but let me assure you, it's no greater than that of using Odin one-click in daily situations, as those also flash bootloaders to the phone. So anytime you're flashing a boot.bin or an SPL.bin, there's always a chance of hard bricking a phone. So if you do hang up on one of those, the phone's going to hard brick itself. So do know that before we start. Also, this will, as we mentioned, flash new bootloaders. That means that if you ever want to revert, you need to use Odin one-click to do that. You can't install a ROM that has a secondary bootloader in it because it's going to brick. It's going to hard brick. If you don't have a compatible boot.bin and SPL.bin combined together, the phone will not work correctly. So if you flash something that has only an SPL.bin and you flash it on top of the Gingerbread boot.bin, you're going to have a hard brick. The phone's not going to know how to get to the second bootloader. And that's just as simple as that. So listen to me. Only flash with Odin one-click to restore stock firmware from this point. Now after you've restored with Odin one-click, you're back in normal mode. You don't have to worry about all this. But when you go to Gingerbread, be sure that when you return back to stock, that you use the one-click downloader. I'm just not going to say it any other way. So, alright, so we've got the phone back up into JF6. Go ahead and power it down for right now and set it to the side. Read all the caution measures, read everything, read this entire thread, then come back, finish watching the video as I will help walk you through it. So we're going to read through all that. I've already done it. It's just kind of a refresher for me. I'm really aware of all this stuff. But it's a fantastic write-up and it's a great job. So we'll stop on the actual installation steps here. Obviously we need to return to stock by using one of the safe approved methods above. We've done that. I recommend one-click Odin downloader JF6. Obviously I pointed out the video in the beginning and I recommend that's what you use. You have two options, one with bootloaders, one without bootloaders. I recommend the one with bootloaders. It's the real deal, whereas the one without bootloaders only works if your phone's already on Gingerbread and you've already done the flashing. And for most users, just do the bootloaders. Even though the one without bootloaders may be enticing, you may be saying, oh wow, hey, I can get around bootloaders, no risk of hard brick. To be honest, I mean, good luck trying to find one of the Gingerbread firmwares that's going to work correctly to allow you to flash this Continuum ROM. So I'd recommend just going with the one that's already known to work correctly, and that's the one with bootloader. So download that, use the mirror, use the torrent, whatever you got to do, get it to your machine. Once it's on your machine, it obviously is a C5 Odin boot.zip. Just open it up with anything, 7-zip, WinZip, WinRAR, anything used to open up packages, and extract these files. Now when they're extracted, and we'll see a folder down here, it's got 3 files. It's got the tar file, the Odin file, and then an Odin INI file. We're going to use the packaged version 1.3 Odin. You can really use whatever Odin you want, to be honest, but we're going to go ahead and open this up. What we're about to do is we're about to flash the actual Gingerbread firmware that's going to be compatible with Continuum. This is actually Continuum technically, but we're going to flash this to the phone. This is the initial package of Continuum 5. It is Gingerbread. So we need to put the phone back into download mode. As always, I recommend the download mode jig, world famous. You can get it at our site for $8 with free shipping. Puts you right in a download mode. It's very useful during this entire process, as it's very easy to soft break and get in a situation where download mode is not attainable using normal methods. So we'll plug in, we get our COM port. Obviously you need to have your drivers installed. If you can Odin one click, this is going to work just fine. From here we want to choose PDA and then browse out to where that file is, the tar file we just talked about. So we'll double click it, Continuum. Once it pre-fills here, we'll click Start. Obviously use a good cable, make sure your battery is 100% charged. As always, watch the entire video before you flash. How many of you got thumbs up if you guys are flashing right now as I'm talking you through this. But I always recommend watching my videos first, but I understand. I'm not patient either. Personally, during walkthroughs, I don't do that, so I don't blame you. But obviously, at first, you're gonna see the green bar going across. There's not gonna be a blue bar necessarily right off the bat. It's not a big deal. It'll finally pop up with about 25% across any second now. And yeah, this is a typical flash using Odin. If this is your first time using Odin, welcome. This isn't one click. This is a more complex, more advanced user-based version of Odin that allows you to select more than just a raw one-click file. So I actually like it very much so over the Odin one-click. So I have Odin videos if you want to learn more about that. So we're going to wait for this to complete, and we'll catch up with you guys on the reboot. It's going to reboot straight into recovery, which has the green clockwork mod. So I'll catch up with you guys as soon as we're at that point. Okay, so the phone's about to reboot here, and we will go through the factory data reset option, which comes up next. And you're going to see the Galaxy S GTI 9000 screen. Don't ask me right now whether the my boot screen mod works on this. I'll test it for you guys and let you know. So please don't ask about that. I know it may be a bit annoying not being the i897, but that's part of flashing the original firmware. The ParamelFS is from an i9000. So once we get to the Clockwork Mod menu, go ahead and select Wipe Data Factory Reset. Press power to select. Say yeah. Let it do its thing. When it finishes, we will reboot and catch up with you guys momentarily. So let's go ahead and let it do the data reset. Okay, data wipe complete. Press power to reboot system. Alright, and we're about to boot into the initial package of Continuum, and by about, I mean about 5 minutes. So wait for this to boot up, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit. Obviously the phone's going to do a lot of initialization to begin with. You may see some new drivers flashing as your computer thinks it's seeing a GTI 9000 for probably the first time in its life, unless you actually have an i9000. So let it do its thing, let the drivers install, and we'll go over some stuff here in a minute after the phone is fully booted back up. Alright, so we're booted up. Let's do our initial walkthrough and make sure everything looks okay. Choose your locale. Obviously I'm English US. And continue to walk through. There's no SIM in the phone. Next, next. And we don't have to worry about Wi-Fi right this second. And I'll finish. And out of the two launchers, everyone knows I don't like the gingerbread launcher. I like the TouchWiz over gingerbread, if those are my options. Obviously, I'm a Launcher Pro Zine type of person personally, and I like the new SPB mobile shell, but it's very expensive. Anyways, here we are. This is gingerbread 2.3.3. This is the initial package of Continuum V5. So there we go. We've got the initial package on here. Now we want to flash the latest update. So to do that, we can go down a little lower, check out the changelog. We can see that on 4/23, which was yesterday, we received a new Beta 3 package. Download that, put it on the phone. Obviously you can see that we already have ours on the phone. Let me make sure it's still there. C5B3, no wipe, still there. We need to reboot into recovery to do this. I'm going to do a power off and show you some of the new button combos. With the new bootloaders, we have new button combos. Now this is a great thing in my opinion, because now we have a button combo for download mode that doesn't require a USB cable to be plugged in. Volume down in power is download mode, and volume up in power is recovery mode. Two of the most common sense, sensible, easy options. Thank you, Samsung, for overlooking the simplest of things and making the Captivate's button combos absolutely retarded. Thumbs up for that if you agree with me on how stupid those button combos were, and the lack of button combos on certain Odin flashes and batch numbers. I mean, that's just terrible. So anyways, we get into recovery mode. We want to install zip, choose the zip. Obviously just flash the latest one that you put on your phone, and we'll let this do its thing. We'll catch up with you guys in just a sec on the reboot. Alright, we've finally finished. Go back, reboot system. We'll catch with you guys in just a sec, and we'll review absolutely everything, and you can be happy with your new genuine gingerbread Continuum ROM. Alright, here we are. We've got the Continuum Beta 3 up. Let's check and make sure our changes took. About phone, Continuum version 5, Beta 3. There we go. That's Continuum Beta 2.3.3, version 5, Beta 3 with Gingerbread 2.3.3 on your Captivate. That's how to install it, and that's following pretty much directly in line with ISR1's directions and a couple of my enforcing of his own rules, such as the Odin one-click. Adhere to all the bootloader nonsense that we talked about. Remember, use Odin one-click when you're restoring stock firmware. From there, it's just like it Captivates out of the box again, and it's the best way to restore stock firmware. Obviously, I appreciate you guys as a viewer, as a subscriber. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. If you would like to donate to us for helping you out on this, and you feel like we saved you time and or a headache, we appreciate that. Absolutely, though, donate to iStar1 if you're considering donating to us as well. And you can rest assured that I'll be able to get a donation over to him. He did a fantastic job. You can do that in the link in the description below for either us or him if you'd like to make a donation. Obviously, the jigs still work fantastic, even with the new bootloaders, because it's a Galaxy S variant. And you can get one of these for just $8 shipped to your door. I recommend planning for a procedure such as this, and a jig is actually one of the recommended steps to have it on hand, because a soft brick situation is very easy to get into with all of this Odin flashing. We all know how inconsistent Odin can be with the inappropriate drivers and the inappropriate sequences of plugging the phone in and off and all kinds of different variables. It's obviously closed source software, so we can't make it any better, and you guys know what's involved. So that is Continuum version 5 Beta 3, the 2.3.3 Gingerbread ROM, one of the first real ROMs with Gingerbread from a great developer on xtadevelopers.com. Check us out, mobiletechvideos.com. Be sure to bookmark us, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks a lot, guys.